to invite these ladies up on the stage for an incredible conversation.
Everyone looks so good. It's like a garden party in here. You guys look incredible.
Oh, yes. What a well-dressed audience.
Yes.
Wow.
Everyone's pretty smoking.
Nailed it.
Perfumes are smelling good together as a group.
I was so excited when they asked me to do this panel because I genuinely love all of these shows, and it's harder when you don't, you know? So I'm really excited to talk about them. But when they sent me this list of names, I was sort of like, I can't believe all of these performances happen in the same season. Because I remember like being a young woman and where you would get like one really cool female character per season. And to get all of these iconic performances in one is just like, my mind is blown. So my first question is kind of for everyone, like as artists, what does it mean to you to play these kind of like very complex, messy, contradictory, very human female characters?
Well, I think for our show, for Margo's Got Money Troubles, you know, Margo she's incredibly messy and bold, and that's what I was drawn to with the character. And, you know, it's also a show about people who are kind of easily judged, you know, from their choices from the outside world of their occupation or the way they dress or the things that they're, you know, the trauma that they're dealing with in their life, addiction issues. And I was just so really like moved being on the set of just the acceptance that we had for these characters and the sensitivity that we had and the freedom to be just completely raw and to go there and to be messy. And it is true. It's like, thank you, Apple, for putting these, you know, female characters, you know, on your screens. And that's also a reason, I mean, of course in film, but I love TV. I love doing TV because, you know, you also have, you know, 8 hours, 10 hours to really like flesh out and dive into a character and the nuance of it and the intricacies of it. And we got to do that on Margo, and David E. Kelly was our writer, and he's just, you know, phenomenal. I mean, he's David E. Kelly, so yeah, Michelle knows.
He's pretty good at this.
Yeah, he's
Do you know
very
him,
good
Michelle?
at this. And
Have you met him?
particularly
Yeah, a little bit.
female, writing female voices, yeah.
I've just been so bowled over by the female performances on television, and I mean, you know, honestly, they're just really owning TV, and so I was so excited at the opportunity, and they said, oh, there's this book and there's this part that everyone thinks only you can play. And I was incredibly flattered, but also, I don't know, maybe a little insulted at the same time. But I just fell in love with her on page one, and there really wasn't a lot in the book. She was really fleshed out quite a bit in the show in such a beautiful, complicated way. But I do, like Elle is saying, I loved how fierce and how messy and bold and kind of locked up that she is, and how you know, I love how complicated and flawed all these characters are, and it really reminds me of that Robin Williams, that famous quote where he says, "Remember that everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about, and be kind." And that kind of, for me, sums up the show and the message of the show. And I'm really proud to be a part of it.
Well, my character's not messy.
Yeah, there's no flaw in stealing someone's eggs.
Messy with her, but she's still not messy.
I think stealing eggs is kind of messy.
I don't know. She has a reason. She has a good reason. I mean, it's true. Like, all these performances are just so beautiful, and being a viewer and being present for your character has been so incredible. And I mean, yeah, Zosha she was really not messy. I mean, she is, but she's not in the sense of a regular human being, right? She has this virus that makes her be more content, unflappable, and pleasant, and she's the whole world. And so it was fun to step into shoes of someone that has to withhold all these emotions that are coming at her. For someone, especially for someone like me, that's, I say, but it's true. I'm Eastern European. I'm very reactionary. I have big feelings all the time, and I will tell you about them. So, holding that stuff in and was such a fun ride, and just stepping into someone that is so blissful and kind, and no matter what, just being in unconditional love for your character all the time. It was beautiful, and it was fun to play someone that's never been done on TV before, right? So it's so original, and what Vince said, that I really love making heroes good guys. What did he say? What did he say?
Well, he wanted to write some more good guys, people that are striving to actually be a good person against the odds.
Yeah, and I love that. It's so beautiful, and your character's job is just so beautifully played, and your reluctant hero.
Thank you.
Yeah. Go. I'm done.
You guys got chemistry. I love it.
I would echo what everybody here is saying. I would also say that part of what I get empowered by on sets, as far as like the actual work that we have to do, is to have sisterhoods. And I've met most of these people and been dying to meet the ones that I haven't. I want her to soar. She wants me to soar. And I don't care about like a piece of pie that you have to hang on to, like make a new pie, like just make a whole new pie, So I've really loved being around so many powerful, amazing women. But in addition to what everybody else is saying, one thing that I've noticed working with Vince Gilligan, who's amazing, is he's drilling down on, of course, the most interesting characters are going to be ones with complexity and contradictions and striving for a goal that there are obstacles in front of. And as you said, like in the past, it's just unfortunate that the women were not being given that breadth of character. So when Vince is writing the women, and when he talks to me about my character, the conversations are about how truthful and honest can you be in the moment, instead of how likable can you be. And we did a panel discussion recently, because there's a lot of people, not a lot, but some people saying like, she's such an unlikable character, my character. I disagree. I think she's reacting the way, personally, I would have taken 8 more episodes to get up off the floor. So I think she's kind of doing well, really. But Vince said on one panel discussion, he's like, it's so weird. Nobody asked me about Walter White being unlikable at any point. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, what do you mean by that? You're defining palatable, very specific to my gender in that conversation.
That's very true.
We get that note a lot as writers, and I go, I like her. I think she's funny. That's all people are looking for.
Truthful to what your character is going through is what's accessible. And accessible is more important than likable.
Yeah. Rosemary is neither sloppy or complicated yet. I'm waiting to find out what the hell happens in season 2. But, no, Rosemary is very straightforward. And Patricia, as you know, the wonderful Kate Flynn, who's not over here yet from England, she's brilliant. Patricia's pretty complicated and messy. And I'm here to pick it up and sweep it up around her. I have my qualms, as she says. But Katie Dippold, who created it, is very, very specific about what she wants. And she's always on set. We're always getting little notes, change it to this. And basically what I was given about Rosemary is, she's the town gossip. She grew up she knows everybody. She's seen it all, done it all. So she just sort of is. But she knows about the curse on the island, but she's not dramatic about it, nor does she, like some of the people, nor does she poo-poo it. And, now the shit has hit the fan, so Rosemary might get a little messier next season. We'll see. And that's all I know about that. Thank you.
Katie Dippold is amazing. I used to watch her as a baby improviser at UCB.
She's brilliant.
Yeah, totally.
So happy for her. She fought so hard to get this show done, so it's great for her.
Yeah. She's so smart too. It's really cool. Anyway, I work with Ashley on our show. I play Gabby on Shrinking, and that's Ashley's show that she's also nominated for. It's amazing. So she knows a lot more about it than I. Like, what's gonna happen? We're filming right now, but I am so lucky to get to play Gabby. It was similar to Michelle's experience, which is crazy to be like Michelle, like it's not Michelle Pfeiffer. That was crazy. Woo! It's similar to Michelle's experience, where when Brett Goldstein and Jason Segel and Bill Lawrence approached me to play Gabby, they didn't really know that much about her. But what they knew was that they wanted her to play opposite Jimmy, who's Jason's character, who's grieving, and Paul, Harrison Ford's character, who's grieving and coming to terms with his Parkinson's. So she needed to be a light in this office. And so what happened was, Bill was like, okay, we want you to do the script and then improvise when you feel after we get the script. So I did that. I feel like the writers, because you were on Lasso, I think, for the first season, the writers were like looking at what I was doing and I was looking at what the writers were doing. And so then when you get halfway through the first season, you're like, oh, that's Gabby. And so it was sort of like, who figured her out first. And now I just, especially as a Black actress, you just want the opportunity. Like there's so many amazing people women especially, that don't get the opportunity. But with Gabby, she just is sort of an amalgamation of people just being like, yes, yes, yes. And our set is really like, similar to what you said. It's like we love each other and we want to see each other do really well as actors. I want to see Michael Urie, do an amazing monologue. So I want to set him up to succeed. And I feel like you guys have that in our writers' room too. Like,
and it's like what makes the work possible. Like when sometimes your job is that you have to go up to Harrison Ford and say the stupidest thing you've ever thought of and ask him to say it. It's like, this environment better be comfortable.
And he gives you that look.
Was a big hurdle.
Yeah.
He gives you that look.
I get it often.
Yeah, I know that look.
But you were talking about like getting the opportunity to play this character. And Elle, speaking of, I just recently found out that you actually read the audiobook for Margo's Got Money Trouble.
Yes.
And so I'm really curious, like when you first read the book, what made you think like this show needs to be on screen and also I need to play this character?
Yes, well, it happened, so it was a little out of order. I was sent the book before it was completely published to option it, and along with David's production company and Nicole Kidman's production company, and then we kind of realized, wait, we all know each other and we all really want this project, so instead of like going against each other, we should team up to try to get this thing. And A24 was with us, and then we brought that to Apple and found our home there. So after I knew that I was going to play the character that they had asked me, oh, do you want to do the audiobook for it? I've done an audiobook before, but never for a character that I was going to play. So I found it really helpful. There was something to it. I'm like, gosh, maybe I want to do this every time there's like an adaptation, because I could totally feel myself like finding her rhythm and her inner thoughts. And a lot of the book is also written in like third person, and it's just very in her mind. So I really enjoyed that. Yeah, I know. And Nick Offerman told me that he and Megan driving cross country, when he found out he got the part, they listened to the audiobook. And I'm like, oh God. I'm like, oh,
aren't
like,
they the
you sounded
cutest?
Great.
Aren't they the cutest in the whole world? I'm obsessed.
The cutest in the whole world.
Megan Mullally and Nick Offerman.
And just the nicest, most
they're
amazing. Good. Yeah. He's amazing.
Those puzzles they do, and then they get dressed up like the puzzle.
Yeah.
They're really.
Yeah.
I do jigsaw puzzles. They dress up like a puzzle.
Yeah. And he's my wife Megan, And so they do these puzzles, and then they dress up. Megan takes him up, and she dresses him, and they dress up like the puzzle.
What?
And then they take photos, and they have a book.
They have a book of this?
Yes.
I'm buying it right
now.
now.
Get it. Get the book.
I have to leave and go.
Okay.
They're like the
incredible.
Super Saiyan form of a child-free couple, I feel like.
This is going to be the best segue you've ever seen. Speaking of puzzles, Ray. First of all, Pluribus is like a TV writer's dream. Like we all watched it being like, the scale, honey. Like it was incredible. But it also seems like a huge acting challenge. Like it's a show designed by someone who doesn't like actors, that like so many of your scenes are alone or silence, or like it looks like very challenging to do. So when you see that on the page,
it looks like somebody that wants to put me through my paces.
Yeah. And you went through them beautifully. But what was it like approaching that challenge?
We get our scripts one at a time, so I never looked at it of like, oh, that's a lot to do. We shot over 11 months, and
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's a
but,
year.
It was a massive undertaking, but you take it a step at a time. I mean, I think anybody up here would say, you know, of course, at first you're like, at first I'm reading the pilot and I thought, oh my God, this is cool as shit. I totally would watch this show. And then I was like, oh crap, I'm playing this. Like, how am I? And you get scared and you think, what if I can't pull it off? And what if I disappoint him? And he wrote this for me and blah, 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 blah. Those voices that are in most of our heads, I think. But at the end of the day, the thing that protects me from some of those thoughts as best I can is just put your head down and do the work. It's the same work as if it's a tiny part. It's the same work as if, and even the episodes that I'm in by myself or no dialogue sometimes, he still wants just as many story beats as if it was 10 people in that room and all dialogue. So you're still marking, like, what is she doing right now? What are the possible ways she has to get this thing she's going for? What are the things that are in the way? This heavy, heavy blanket of grief was a constant thing that we talked about. Yeah, I mean, it's thrilling to have someone like Vince Gilligan believe in you. And Karolina can tell you, we also have a crew that...
Incredible crew.
I mean, whatever you're doing, show running, writing, acting, a lot of journalists here as well. If you were to walk into a room every day with something very challenging and 200 people are like, yeah, but you can do that. We absolutely believe that you're capable of this. It's an amazing thing. It shouldn't be an anomaly, but sometimes I feel like as performers, we do think someone's shooting at our feet and we need to dance as fast as we can and prove that we're supposed to be there.
It's like that a lot of the time, actually.
It is. You're trying to prove you are of value, and instead, he really does create an environment where he's like, "No, I believe you can do this." And then we worked a lot. The only other thing I'll add to that is it was interesting to me that after Vince and I talked about it a bit, when I showed up the first week in prep, he said, "Just so you know, I don't know exactly what the show is yet," and I knew he meant tone, because he's very meticulous in the writing, but I knew he meant tone. That he loves to push genre-defying stuff, but as well as like this tone that will vacillate from deeply psychological drama to comedy. And, we've all seen shows where you're like, I don't think those people are in the same show, or I don't think they know what they are. And he wanted to challenge that. And I knew he meant we need to see it sometimes to know. So we would do some of the same scenes as comedically as they could be, and then do them again like they're in a Mike Leigh film, and then see how can they hold water with each other. And I loved it, and he trusts his actors. He actually loves actors, loves them.
He really does,
Loves
but
them.
also
You
to
can tell. You
you
can tell.
he
He's
really-
trusting. I feel
he's
like he
very
trusts you
trusting.
guys.
But that's the beautiful thing, because you've been with on Better Call Saul. You've had years of having that relationship grow and understanding of one another. And like I remember when Vince told me one day on set when we started, I was very nervous, and he asked for a lot of takes. And thank God I have Ray as my partner, because after like take 4, I'm like, oh my God, I'm fired. This is it. That's a wrap. I'm doing a terrible job. And she saw the fear in my eyes, and she was like, let's go talk. And, she helped me to understand that he does it because he believes in you and he knows that you can, and he wants to challenge you. And that's the beautiful thing. He pushes you and challenges you.
Yes, it's
to go
very
further
fine-tuned
and
modulation.
further, and he will never make you look bad. And that's the beautiful thing. Like, you can go there and you can trust him that he will never, ever make you look bad, but he will challenge you. And sometimes it feels very uncomfortable in your body. You're like, are you sure this feels, but then you see the result and you go, oh my God, like, thank you for, pushing me there. And, and I just want to just add one more thing. This woman right here works harder than anyone I have ever
They
met.
work so hard.
I'm
Everybody here
telling
works
you,
hard.
her prep is unbelievable. We would meet every weekend, and every week we would work on our scenes, talk about our scenes, and then we would get to set, run our lines just to get it in our body, and then so we can really play. And she does it with everybody. If you're a guest star, anybody that's coming on a day
We've all been
player.
guest stars. There's
And it's
nothing
such a-
harder than going
The
on set
hardest
and
job in
having
the
to be
world.
brilliant. You don't know
Celebrated,
anybody.
but it's
Yeah.
like, yes, for sure.
I'm
but
like,
you
I don't
have
want it the
that.
first
Love
time they
it.
said it out loud to be like outside of their hotel room. Like,
You want her to do well. It also, there's nothing better than when like number 1 on the call sheet
Yes.
actually is cool as fuck. And you're like,
You know what I mean? But
It's like-
it trickles down to everybody, and that's why like our environment, when people come, they're like, "Oh my God, it's so welcoming. It feels so safe." And that's only breeds best work, because everyone, it's nerve-wracking. And then when you feel like, oh my God, okay, I can, great, let me play more, or let me, and
She's
she
so
creates
great.
the environment.
She's my sister.
I want to ask Jessica, because you're now in your 3rd season of playing Gabby, and I feel like well, now we're doing the 4th. Yeah, this is the 3rd that we're talking about.
That was crazy. I was like 4.
Oh yeah, yeah, I was
Actually,
there.
it's 4.
I've been I'm aware. But I feel like everyone knows Gabby is like so funny and confident and stylish. I feel like 99% of the comments about the show are about Gabby's style. But in season 3, we really saw this layer of vulnerability we hadn't seen before. And I wonder if you could just talk about like what it is to play a character like that over time and to grow them over time.
Oh man, that's the dream. I think as a comedy actor, I think a lot of comedy actors can do drama, but I don't think a lot of dramatic actors can do comedy as well as a comedy person. There's just something about the sad clown that is like really true. And for that, Ashley works with Bill Lawrence like every day, and he's got like 5 shows right now. So he's always, really busy. But we had talked about in season 2 how I felt that Gabby would not like that Brett Goldstein's character Lewis was around. And Bill was like, I was like, I want her to not be okay with it. He's like, maybe. And then he was like, okay, all right, okay, we'll get to it. And so he said at the end of season 2, Gabby could have a conversation with Lewis. And it just didn't happen at the end of season 2. And he was like, I fucked up. There wasn't enough time to land the plane. I'll do it at the top of season 3. So we just waited. And, and Brett, his part is like kind of the sweetest Muppet man. I mean, you talk to him all the time. He's just like a Muppet dude, he's like a buff Muppet. He's a very alarming person. But what I was really excited about the opportunity, honestly, again, it's like you don't, especially as a 6-foot-tall Black actress, you're hungry. Like to me, I'm just hungry. I'm just sort of like, put me in the game, coach. However, it was nice that the white guys at the top gave me an opportunity to do that. There's, and for better or for worse, the white dudes at the top are kind of making the decisions about what performances make it. Like we need allies, and that was one of those where being on a Bill Lawrence show is really cool for that reason.
And it's also like the symbiotic nature that I love so much in making television, because I'm in the writer's room being like, I don't like that Lewis is still here. I don't think Gabby would like it. And then like eventually we get to both bring, all the writers' point of views and yours, an actor, into one incredible scene.
I didn't know that.
Run home and watch it if you guys haven't seen it. It's
that
incredible.
was actually the Black way that I said it as well from my end on Basecamp. So it's nice to know that we both had the same thought.
Yeah, we're tag teaming.
I don't like that Lewis is up in here.
What is he still doing here? One of my closest friends, by the way. Get him out of here.
Exactly.
For Michelle, I really loved your character, Cheyenne. I think she's so funny to me because she's clearly a deeply loving mother, but also is a little bit afraid to hold a baby. And I just think playing both of those at the same time is so interesting to me. And I wonder, when they did come to you and say, you're the only person who could play this part, what really attracted you to it?
Well, I'm from Orange County.
Same.
What?
I'm from Orange County. She knows. Midway City, and I know this woman.
Mm-hmm.
And not that Cheyenne is only found in Orange County. You can find Cheyennes all over the place. But I love. I mean, she's, I love how damaged she is. I love that she's. I figure we don't even want to know kind of the life she was born into and how she had to claw her way out of it. And what it's like to be a single mom, raising a young woman and wanting more for her than what you had and fighting fiercely for that. And also having pretty low self-esteem and finally I get her to college. I'm like, yeah, we made it. And then look what happens.
Sorry.
And it's really, at her core, she's just really vulnerable and is finally at a time in her life when she's saying, no, I deserve better than being with a drug addict. I deserve better than having someone who's going to abandon me. And so she's really trying, and she's really heroic in her very flawed and messy way. Yeah, so, you know, she was pretty, well, she was, you know, they really fleshed her out, you know, throughout the series, which really surprised me. And I was, yeah, a little bit like you. I'm like, oh, fuck, I gotta do this now. And you know, those initial wardrobe fittings where I mean, that's just not me. And you know, I'm the wallflower. I'd like to stay that way. And so, but it was so fun to be able to live vicariously through her, and to see the looks on the crew's faces whenever Cheyenne would show up to the set, and they were just, oh God, now look what she's wearing today. And you know, everybody needs a little Cheyenne in their life and in their closet.
You look like you had such a good time. Like it just looked like you're having.
I mean,
a ball.
yeah, and you know, look, having, when you were talking about the crew, just nodding my head, because it is everything. It is everything when you know, you just feel it. You feel the person behind the camera. You develop this sort of silent relationship. And when you trust your other actors, when you have people supporting you. I never want to star in another movie. I swear to God. I only want to do ensemble pieces. It's so much more fun.
We say like there's nothing better than a crew laugh. Like sometimes you do all this work and then the crew laughs and you're like,
Or they're not easy to get.
Or
they're there before you and they're there after you leave.
Or when you make them cry. Yeah. Those big burly guys behind the counter, you know, the dolly grip. They're like.
Karolina, I think I read that you had kind of stepped away from acting before doing this part. And I wonder, like, one, what drew you to the audition? And then what was it like jumping right into the deep end of this incredible role?
Well, it was a pandemic time, so the lockdown happened in March, and in July I was like, I think it's time to make some babies. I think it's a good idea to procreate. And so I decided, I was 39, and I decided to start a family. And then during that time, my agent and manager dropped me. So that was very devastating. And then
They are like,
poor choice.
I'm like, what now? And so then when that happened, you know, I decided, and it was very important for me to be a stay-at-home mom for the first 2 years of their life, just because my parents traveled a lot when I was a child. They weren't around because of communism and all this stuff. And so that was one of the reasons why they parted ways, or I think that was one of the reasons. And so then I just decided to have my second child, and right away I was blessed to have get pregnant with my second child. And then when I was ready to go back to work, I didn't know how. I was 41, and I was really terrified. I was like, how am I gonna ever audition? How am I going to get an opportunity for a job? And out of nowhere, an email came through from a commercial agent that I was on their roster, but I was not working with them. And it said, hey, there's this request for an audition. And all I saw was Anna. That's it. And I said, okay, well, what is it for? Like, you know, it could be, you know, something I don't want to be a part of. And she came back and she said, okay, let me check. She came back and she said, oh, it's Vince Gilligan for Apple TV.
Yes, please.
And I went, oh my God, you know, it's been a dream of mine to work with Vince. And so I just couldn't believe it. I never had the opportunity. So that's how the audition came about. And I put myself on tape. I didn't know anything about the world. I didn't know anything about my character, except that she was pleasant and nice. But when I read it, well, I love to do dream work. I know this sounds very like woo, but
let's get into it.
Let me tell you about the dream work. No, but I love it's like tapping into the subconscious. So before you go to bed, you write to your character and reveals to you whatever you need from your subconscious to play the character, and there's a whole ritual that goes with it. But what's beautiful that it's like lives inside you on a deeper level, and you don't have to it's just there. And I really love that kind of work. And so I did that for the audition. And I remember when I was taping with a friend, she said, you know, something is happening in this room. And I went, what? really? And I felt it. I understood her. And then I sent it in, and they told me they want to test me for it, which blew my mind. To just imagine like having all that time off, not having presentation. Then we were like, they want to test you with this thing, and then I found out the significance of this character. Then I read the first 2 scripts. It was just all just so surreal. And then I tested with this lady, and you were so magnificent in the test because you're just so nervous, you're just getting so close, and like you're so giving. And I felt like you wanted me to get the part, and after each take, she was like, "What do you need from me? Can I, like, do you like tell me how to, guide you so you can get this part?" And you just, it's the truth. It's like the best thing when
She's
you
like,
have
of
that.
course, but it's like a really nice.
Yeah. No, it's really nice, right? Thank you, because it's like
We all been on the other side of that one too.
But you remember?
but there's a lot of people that wouldn't do that. When you have a female that's like supporting you, going like, "You got this. Like, let's do."
She was amazing. And Bialy Thomas casting also.
Thank you. It's
looked,
Bialy, it's
through
Thomas,
all
and
handwritten
yes.
files after they've done
that's
all
what's
their
in-
digital stuff, trying to find anybody that.
So yes,
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, but she did this incredible job at something because her role is so deceivingly simple, but it's not. It's so challenging. And I was explaining to Vince when we were doing the screen test, I said, because he was looking for what he wanted, and I said, "Do you realize how challenging it is? As humans, we reciprocate the emotions. If somebody starts taking a conversation in a heated direction, in general, we get heated. You have to like step back from it. So, excuse me. And then as an actor, it's like one of our greatest tools. Listen and respond. Listen and respond. And I was like, you're taking all of that away from her. She never matches my emotion. And we had this scene was. Is it episode 2 that's the grenade?
It's episode 3.
3.
Yeah.
The grenade one. And I am so mean. And I'm so... I'm likable. Well, I mean,
Your partner just died,
At that
dude.
moment, I believe she literally murdered my wife.
Yes.
So I'm a little
It's totally.
pissed.
Yeah.
And my
honestly,
career is over.
That's a media literacy. I think we have a mass media literacy issue
Yes.
because nobody should be mad at you for that.
right.
I have a question.
Yes.
What was the character description for Anna,
She was.
if you don't mind me asking?
All I had was like, she's a pleasant human being. That was it. But that was it. So that's
Funny.
it is funny. And so I don't know why, but I just like something maybe because of the obviously from the dream work, I got things that came up. But what I did a lot for this character is meditate a ton every single day. To remove the ego, because when you meditate a lot, the ego gets removed and you're more present. And I know it sounds but for me, I love it. I know
It
it
works
works.
to me because
It
the
makes- 'cause she lives in
character
a different-
doesn't get upset when the other.
But
the
she
scene
also
partner gets
works in
upset.
a different. It's like the vibration of where she lives and the others live is just unconditional love and peace. But you can say it's bliss, but it's so much bigger than that. They're tapped into the collective in the most profound way, and that's what meditation does. It just connects you to the world with unconditional love, where you're like, we are all one energetically, and we are beautiful beings. Our ego and our conditioning fucks us up.
I feel
But
like
that's not, that's
She has
where
a TED Talk.
I have a
You can watch
question.
it.
I feel like I'm at Comic-Con.
I
I feel like I'm at Comic-Con right now.
Is that good or bad?
I do. I'm like, but I do feel, I'm like, honestly, I'm such a big fan of everyone here. It's very
Same.
surreal to be up here with you guys. This is actually the coolest event Apple's had us do thus far. But I do feel like it's so interesting that you meditated and did dream work before. That really fits the character that you got. And it is funny how sometimes when you have auditions and it just feels right, like your friend said, oh, something's happening,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But can I tell you something too? I feel like me becoming a mom also changed me, and I don't think I would be the actor that I am today if I didn't have my kids. It just made me understand. There's the purpose for living is differently. Do you know what I mean? There's just so. I remember in acting classes when my teacher was like, would you ever jump in front of a bus, for a child? I'm like, I would hope so.
Depends
I
on
don't
how
know.
chill they
I
are.
was very selfish. I was like, yeah, I like my life, and but now I have a different understanding that I'm not sure I could have. Now I would, you guys. Okay, I would.
What do you mean, like for my sister's kids?
Well, how well do I know these kids? Are they nice kids?
How much did they mean to me?
Speaking of
Do I hang out with these kids?
Speaking of trying to save people, I want to ask Dale about your character because I related to her so much because I felt like so often you're in the frame and you know the answer to a question that nobody is bothering to ask you. And it was just so intriguing. So I wonder, like, when you saw that role on the page, what did you think, like, oh, I can bring myself to this? Like, what attracted you to it?
Well, I loved Rosemary's sense of humor in her sardonic way. I think the word is sardonic. She is an observer, and she sits back and watches everyone. That's why she knows everything about everyone. But I also found, I think I did several auditions, and then I finally had a Zoom with Katie and Hero, and my first audition, self-tape.
Do you like them or not like them?
I do not like them. I think it robs people. I think it robs a lot of.
I agree.
Yeah, but however, the one thing, this self-tape I went in, this is what they gave me an adjustment, which often you don't get. So I was lucky, and the adjustment was something that worked, and I found it and I did it, and then we spoke. But I think the more that we worked on the character, and that Katie talked to me, Rosemary doesn't show, but a deep insecurity of wanting to be liked. And I think often people that are the know-it-all or the tell-it-all or have the quips, deeply inside, they're afraid that no one really likes them. I mean, almost at the end of every little thing that Rosemary says, which is here and there, little quips, until that damn episode number 9. But I feel like at the end of it, it's always like, I can't do anything right today, or oh well, I guess I'll go fuck myself, and
It's very relatable.
I just wanted to say I've been watching everyone's shows, and I'm getting everyone's so wonderful, and the characters are so complicated, and it really is a beautiful thing to see after many years in the industry and seeing roles finally written, and now hearing you guys as people, it's lovely, and thank you all.
May I touch your hand?
Yes. I think that's the perfect place to wrap it up. I couldn't agree more. Each of these performances was like a gift to all of us as the audience, and we're so lucky to even hear you guys talk about your process. So thank you.
Thank you
all of
guys for
So
coming.
much.
Thank
There's
you,
a lot
guys.
of
Thank you.